All right, friends. All right, people. I'm going to be introducing, interviewing. This is Missy D Interviews Constellation number 4. Hi, everyone. We're back with a special edition of Missy D Interviews Constellation 4 special edition. My name is Missy D. I use she and her pronouns, and I'm joining you from the unceded, traditional, and ancestral land of the Musqueam. And we'll be speaking with some fellow folks living on the land of the squatters, slavery, and Musqueam. Take this time to acknowledge the land that you're on, like that shirt Kealoha is wearing. Colonize. Think about the land that you're on, the things that are happening to us around the world. And I want to dedicate this episode to the people that are in need. Hoping this episode shines in solidarity with you. Yes, Missy D Interviews is about shining light, realities, dreams, stars, movement, and our community building. For this special edition, let's talk Constellation. The Constellation is a collective bringing together local event organizers to help bring musicians and fans alike more of what they want to see. If you love live music and want to meet some of the people who are making it, the Constellation wants to meet you. The Constellation is a collective bringing all these folks on team. Why be a star when you can make a constellation? Is what you will see on the website. This is a quote from Naomi Murakawa. And I think these are stellar people who are going to illuminate the Hilton Coast stage on June 8th. When Locals Lounge presents Mikey Jose, Kealoha, Arevalo. And I was listening to their music today, in between meetings. I was like, hey, I got to jam out to those folks. And I think you're in for a treat. This is not a biased judgment. This is just the truth. So while we wait and warm up for the show happening on June, let's get started and meet the folks that you see on my screen now. Missy D, introducing, interviewing Mikey Jose, Francis Arevalo. Hi, everybody. Hi, y'all.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
I'm so grateful to be here with y'all and to have you on the screen and to spend this next hour just chatting it up with some friends. Now, I have you on the screen, and to some people, I said these names and I said some dates and I said who I was, but they might not know who you are. So my first question is the introduction question. How would you introduce yourself? And I'm going to start with Mikey.
So my name is Mikey. I would first introduce myself with my name. I am a first-year PhD neuroscience student, and I'm studying at UBC, University of British Columbia. And I'm also, I spend my nights making music and writing music and being inspired by music. So basically, half of my life is neuroscience research and the other half is music. And I like to put it all together.
Love to hear that. In another life, maybe in the same life, I would be very similar to you. Francis Arevalo, who are you?
My name is Francis Arevalo, he, him. I think most people know me in the music industry as as an artist first. I think there's also producer sometimes wrapped up in that, and I think I'm learning to step into like a multi-hyphenate type of energy. I think I wear a few different hats. Today and for this event, I'm here as an artist and so honored to be the curator also of this series. But I think inside and outside of all that, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a community member, and a friend. So luckily to all of you, and from your support, we're here, and like I'm just so lucky to be a human in community with you.
Thank you, Francis. And you wear all those hats really well. They look so fly. So we celebrate those multi-hyphens. Kealoha, who are you?
Suento Kealoha Susie o Kealoha Ko'uinoa. Mahalo nui loa I ko ho'olohe ana mai ia'u I na aina kupuna o ka Squamish muskrat tsleil-waututh. My name is Kealoha. I'm so grateful to be heard by you here, coming to you from the unsurrendered ancestral homelands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh. I introduced myself in two of my mother tongues, the first being Klitli Tene dialect and the second being Olelo Hawaii. I am descendant of my great-great-granny Seymour, who was known as the matriarch of the north of the Klitli Tene Nation. She was a medicine woman and a trapper and a storekeeper and just an overall badass. And also a descendant of, this is all from my mom's side, also descendant of Polynesian navigators and dancers. My grandpa Brown passed down the dances of my Hawaiian and Tahitian ohana to my mom, who then passed it down to me and my siblings. And yeah, I guess that's where the seed of performing and creating and doing art with my family started, was through dance. And I'm also a descendant of Irish farmer settlers and Chinese immigrants. My pronouns are she and they, and I come to music first as a drummer, and in the past year have been weaving my original project, at which I do play the drums, and I'm also singing and composing and arranging and dancing, and yeah, really, I guess at the heart of it is this intention of bringing together people that I admire so much and people whose dreams I want to support as fiercely as they are supporting my own. So I'm really grateful to be in this space with you all. Like, that theme definitely carries through to where I am right now, which is like Francis being, you know, one of those supports and one of those people, and like inviting us here, and then, you know, UD like highlighting all of us so beautifully and all the work that you do like this, and Mikey just feeling really excited that we finally have this space to like kind of like circle each other closer and closer. I'm like, obviously I've been admiring you from far for a while now, so this is great.
Back at you.
I love this group so much, and thank you, Kealoha, for sharing more about your background. I think I want to honor the people that came before you, the people that are with you right now, the person that you are. So all the facets as well. Another multi-hyphenated person that I love with your musicality, and I'm so excited to get to know you more, even in the upcoming days and this upcoming hour. So in the introduction, I forgot to mention, because I was a little nervous. I think people often don't notice that. And I forgot to mention, like, Missy D Interviews is about communities, about getting to know people. But really, initially, it was just a check-in in the middle of the pandemic and being like, hey, I don't get to see green rooms anymore. I don't get to see my friends. I don't get to say, how are you, to a lot of people and hear a full answer. So it was a way to be on the IG a little bit more than I intended to, but also be like, hey, how are you doing? Who are you? Because we don't get to talk to each other. So my second question is a check-in question. And we had a little check-in before, but I want to hear a little bit more. If there's another song that came to mind or another sound that came to mind, my check-in question for today is, what is the sound of the day for you? So sound of the day, could be a hum, could be a song, could be a melody that you hear right now. And I'm gonna go in opposite orders. I'm gonna go to Kealoha first. What is the sound of your day?
Yeah, it's still water. It's still water for me. And I think it's like it's been swishing around for me for a while, but I think today is rain, and that's also why I'm wearing my new raindrop earrings. It's kind of overexposed, but they're this really beautiful blue color. They were made by Nisima's Creations, who's like an indigenous artist here, living in so-called Vancouver. Yeah, rain.
Rain it is. Francis, what is your sound?
I think the sound for me is to my right, I have a clock that's quite loud and ticking, so I can hear time. So it's like what, it's like 60 BPM on this side, and then And then on this side, the window's open and I can hear the breeze and I can hear birds. And like, I think right now it's really grounding because this is the quietest it has been in the last 2 weeks. It's been quite my mind and my headspace has been filled with like lots of different kinds of things as I'm here for the Junos, and like I think I can finally hear myself. And like I think between those two things reminded me that like, okay, time feels like it's slowing down. It's like happening at the pace that it normally happens. Outside, there's a breeze that's like flowing with some ease. And like in the middle, there's just like me and I can hear myself finally. Yeah.
Happy for you for that. A little break amongst the many stellar things you're doing. Mikey, what's your sound of the day?
That was so poetic as always. You like heard two sounds and then you managed to make it sound so beautiful and cohesive. I was, and then I was like, maybe I should try that, but then I'm not nearly as creative, and there's also no sound in here. But I think the sound that immediately just came to my mind was just like just like a nice like earthy gospel kind of, like there's nothing going on, there's like no crazy runs, it's just like a settled ground hum. And I feel like that's just how I feel right now as well, kind of to parallel how you're feeling, Francis. The last couple days, few days, week, months have been really kind of go, and it's nice to just settle down and just talk to people that I admire and take a step back and ask how people are doing and learn more about the community around me. So just a nice earthy hum is what I'm hearing.
Nice.
I want all those sounds in my room right now, from rain to the nature to, I do have a clock around so I can hear the BPMs happening next to me, but also a nice, which I feel more and more as we get going into this interview. I know I went a little off script because I'm like, did I ask question one? Maybe I didn't even ask question one. So this is my moment to ask question one, which is like, what's up, what's new? Y'all are very creative people. I look up to y'all for many, many, many reasons. And I know sometimes you're working on some things, or you have something on the side that you're just looking at and you're like, I'll work on you later. What's up and what's new apart from this wonderful show on June 8th at 7 p.m. Guilt and Co. Mikey, what's up and what's new with you?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm very excited about our show on June 8th. It's gonna be an awesome lineup, and I'm honestly just there for free tickets to the show. Honestly, I just want to hear all of you guys. But in terms of my life, on the artistic side, I did a little bit of a recording project with So Far Sounds. That's going to be released, I think, in a couple of days. So for AAPI Heritage Month. So very honored to be on that lineup. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And then outside of my creative side, on the academic side, I'm continuously working on my thesis, which is looking at the effects of music and listening to music on targeting apathy and Parkinson's disease. So using music as a clinical tool and validating it in the neuroscientific space. So that's my, I guess, 2-3 year project, but I'm continuously trying to plug it just so that I think there's a lot of people who care about it, and I'd like to hype it up a little bit to get the scientific aspect of the power of music to kind of validate it in the medical field, because as we all know, we are very familiar with the power of music, but I think there needs to be a little bit more of convincing on the scientific side and in the medical field, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I think it's a really powerful tool towards healing, and I think that we all are witness to that. So continuously plugging and promoting that, and we will continue for the next 3-4 years that I'm working on this PhD thesis.
Super exciting, and please let us know when you are presenting your thesis, because we'll be there to support. We'll be there to support for sure. Francis, what's up and what's new with you?
What's up and what's new? That's a great question. It's resonating really deeply right now because I feel like I'm sort of at the end of one chapter and the beginning of another chapter or something. Yeah, so for some context, I'm here in Toronto for the Junos.
Yeah, you
Primarily,
are.
um, I'm supporting Desiree Dawson, who I manage through my company Owido, and also who's the project that she was nominated for is one that I co-produced with Olivia Kwan. And I think there's been so much buildup around this weekend. It's been an incredible, almost unthinkable like time here. And then so you're catching me just right at the end of that sort of build up and release. And I'm thinking of this question in terms of like, when I think of what's up, I think of like my hopes. I think my hopes are up. My like energy, even though it's like been quite draining, like my energy for what's to come feels up because I think um, the next steps forward feel full of possibility. Especially seeing the kinds of like, yeah, the kinds of results that our work has gotten us while we've been here. In terms of what's new for me as an artist, I'm working on music all the time, I think. I'm working on an album called Homegrown. It's a rework and expansion of an older project from back in 2018. And in short, it's a project that more or less is like a coming of age story for me, but also like a coming of age in the context of community. I think of each of us being like a seed or a carrier of seeds, and we require context and environment and community to like hold us so that we can like actually take roots with the seeds that we have and the seeds that we are. So it's one that I feel really excited about. I haven't felt this excited about my own music in like a long minute. And yeah, just like witnessing the people that I'm supporting and witnessing from a distance, like making big moves with their music, I'm like, all right, time to get mine too, So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
I love that for you. And I just thought of a new term that I'm gonna, I don't know, create. I had a deja vu preview of, what the interview might look like when Francis gets his own nomination for the Junos. I'm like, hey, what is your work about? And I was like, what's Homegrown about? And I heard a little bit of that, and maybe I'll take a snippet and post it on Instagram. He first answered it at Missy D Interviews Constellation #4. But that's a future story. Deja vu preview right there. Kealoha, what's up and what's new with you?
Oh, it feels like so much, honestly. I'm definitely wading into a completely new chapter for myself. I guess most recently what comes up for me is just kind of recalling my joy for gathering community and like holding space for artists and friends to shine. I think I've been doing so much performing throughout this year and just really working really hard on my project. And I got to curate a show called In Bloom with Vines Festival, which happened on Friday. And it was just, the sun came out for us. It was raining all week, and then the sun came out. We were in the park, and like the bands came through. It was a beautiful event. And just felt really fulfilled seeing my friends shine like that. And yeah, so there's that little piece of like reminding myself of the different sides of me that nourish my purpose in this world. And then I guess like in terms of the summer, there's definitely on my heart and my mind is the project with UD, which for folks who, well, I feel like we've kept it really on the down low because we're still just kind of simmering with it. But we're Black and Indigenous featured artists with the Jazz Fest this year. And I guess at the heart of it definitely feels like this intention of bringing intersectionality, and at the forefront of that intersectionality, bringing like Black and Indigenous relations to the forefront of the Jazz Fest through, or rather to the forefront of our experience in the Jazz Fest and how we can contribute our perspectives to that space, which since having been founded has been like a white male dominated space. So that definitely feels like an important heart calling for the summer. And I just kind of made the really impulsive decision. Maybe it's my Sagittarius, I don't know what. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm just gonna do this, and then I'm like, really? And then I'm like, well, I'm already in it, let's go. But like, I decided to submit again to CBC Searchlight. I submitted last year with my single Mama's Hands and got to the top 100, but this year I decided to submit with Mahina, which is probably my favorite music child that's out in the world. So I'm really excited about it. Even if it like, I don't know if I'm gonna have the juice to like bust it out like I did last year. Like I went pretty hard last year, like being like, come on, everybody. So like this year I'm feeling more low key about it, but I'm also like, the song's kind of a banger. So I'm like excited for it to like, I don't know, reach some more ears and just be like bumped. But speaking of that, I will call in support because voting starts on May 19th and goes till May 30th. And we can all vote every day on every piece of technology we have. So I'll be posting the link and asking for help with that. And then like Francis, I'm working on recording an album this year. This will be my debut full-length album, and Francis is going to be like a support person on my team for that. So I'm really excited, and just I have like the first steps of that happening this week, actually recording a new single at Helm Studios with my friend Josh, and also an acoustic version of Mahina. So I'm really excited about that. I've been rehearsing with the band this week and just like feeling that like a few weeks ago or maybe last month, I found a few new songs that I realized were completely like sonic inspirations for my album. And then I was listening back to our rehearsal recording for the single that I'm recording this week. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're just like naturally integrating some of those sounds. Like it feels really aligned right now. So yeah, I guess that's what's up with me.
I love all those things. I'm excited to collaborate with you. I'm ready to support you. May 19th, CBC Searchlight with Mahina. And more to come. Like one thing I noticed from all these different answers is like, you know, from Mikey, the power of music, both in your music life, but also in your academic life, and how much excitement when you talk about it, like you're there, you're excited, you're like, oh, I can't wait, I did this So Far Sounds thing, but I'm also gonna like do this other academic piece of my thesis. Same with like Francis, about like working on the other side of Uido, but also working on your own music and being excited about your music. I think I got really happy and like had little chills of like, yes, I want you to be excited about your music. And then it flowed into like Kealoha and be like, I'm excited about this music. And then we're working with the band and we're organizing this. I'm just like, I see so many connecting dots in my head when folks talk. So I'm super excited for y'all, is all I was trying to say. My brain was rambling in my head, but that's what I was trying to say. Well, do you know what? That was question 1, but don't worry, I added some new questions and we still got some time here together. This next round is one of my favorite rounds. I get to hear a little bit of different stories from people. It's called Through the Wire, through the limit, through the wall. A chance to be with you. Our happiness get on. Da, 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 da. Through the wire, through the limit, through the This is when I stop and I go practice some more. And
keep going.
You sound good. You sound good.
This is the segment.
If there wasn't a leg, we would have jumped in with it.
Yeah,
just silently lip syncing and like
just like
in the air.
Yeah.
And I felt the spirit. I saw everybody's
Yeah, we just lit up, just in it.
But this round is I'm gonna give you a random year, and I want you to think about a story from that year, or maybe there's a person you want to shout out from that year. If you can't remember, because I'm a hypocrite, I wouldn't remember everything. Think of the context. Where were you? What were you doing? Maybe you remember the grade. Maybe you remember even just your favorite color. That's it. Then that's it. That's the full answer. And then, of course, sometimes you're trying to move on from different years. So if you want to pass on a year, let me know. And we got 2022 years to go, kind of. Kind of. So I'll
Back in
start with
1901.
like, hold up, what? Well, I'm gonna go in different orders now. I will tap into Francis. Francis, what were you doing in 2005?
2005. Where was I?
This is just a memory test. This is actually
2005. 4, 5.
We're collecting data.
I think 2005. I was in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
I think. I hope that checks out. At some point I was in high school. I'm pretty sure that was 2005. Wait, I graduated 2009. Yeah, no, I'm around with 2005. I'm around 2005, grade 8. Wow, I haven't thought about that time in a long time. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out about what's relevant about that time besides like puberty and insecurity.
Real stuff.
That's when I started writing poems. That's what I'll bring up then, is like, that's when I started writing poetry. Mikey and I actually had a conversation last week or 2 weeks ago about the Rose That Grew from Concrete book. My first, I think that was also my first book of poetry, and inspired me to write. I was also listening to music that was inspiring me to write my own thoughts and experiences and stories. And I think what's coming up around that time is like, I remember getting made fun of a lot for like writing poems, and like it just like wasn't cool to everyone else around me to like do that. And I think I'm really glad that like I both stuck with it, and like I kept writing and sharing. And also I'm realizing I'm also really grateful for like the like the friends that did support those endeavors, and like the family that also saw like, I don't know what you're saying, but like I can see that you kind of have some kind of gift or something, you know. Or like I'm also thinking of you know, the teachers along the way, like in high school, like the different kinds of mentors that I had that like recognized that like there was power in like speaking your truth, even if it's in a medium or form that like no one really understands other than yourself. Like there's a power in kind of embracing that for me. And yeah, I'm grateful for the space and the support that allowed me to continue writing and expressing since then, because that's a long time ago. Yeah, that's 2005.
And now you have your own published poetry book. Like that's amazing, man. You see that?
Thank you. Yeah, it feels great. Moments in Rhyme, go get that.
Hey, let's plug in everything.
No, the seeds of that were planted around that time, for sure.
Thanks for sharing that. I'm gonna go to 2010, and I'm gonna tap Mikey. What were you up to in 2010?
2010. Well, I think, I mean, it has nothing to do with anything of this conversation, but 2010 was the year that the Olympics were in Vancouver, and I was in grade 7. And I think I don't know why this is the first memory that popped in my mind, but my dad brought me to one of the speed skating events at the Richmond Olympic Oval, and it was crazy. Like I was such a nerd about the Olympics. I would print out the medal counts every day and track how Canada was doing. I was a huge nerd about it. I was like following it, insanely following it. And then I'd get the newspaper that was still delivered to our house, kind of, you know, like back when newspapers existed, and I'd cut out the medal count and then I'd put in another thing. So I was like a huge fan of the Olympics in general. And then we went to a speed skating event, and it was so awesome to see. We didn't win, but like just being in the building and being beside my dad, it was like a really special moment. So I think it has nothing to do with music or anything in general, but that's the first thing that I thought of when you said 2010.
I hear that. You know, my day-to-day job is as an experiential learning advisor, and what I heard in your answer a little bit, maybe because I'm at work right now, is your attention to detail, your organizational skills, which probably are transferable skills that you use in your music, but also in your academic life. So that was a little bit of Diane right there, or D really at work.
Honestly, you're leading into it very well, because if you guys want to see my spreadsheets, they go off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the skills. I heard it. I was like, I wonder how you do your, I'm curious to know how you write a song. I would love to even sit down with you and songwrite and see how you write a song. But that came to mind when you're speaking. I'm glad you got to share that with your dad as well. Kealoha, you're wondering what year we're going to.
No, I'm like ready.
Right, we're not going too far, but maybe, you know what? It is 3 years ago. So 2019. What were you up to?
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Pre-pandemic.
19. In 2019, I was, I guess, just coming out of like a long health hiatus. I graduated school in 2018, and then took a big long break from like music and just life, everything here. I went back to my hometown in Kealoha Nation and was just trying to like sort out my health, because I had been going through like really bad flare-ups with my chronic illness, and just like didn't feel like I could keep going on like that. So I was trying to figure it out and trying to just rest, and like that was a huge getaway, and it did help. I was staying with my godparents by the river, and just spent a lot of nice time like going on walks and like just lying low. And then got back, and in 2019 actually sorry, that was a bit of a precursor, but I'm just thinking it's all very relatable. But like in 2019 I kind of was starting to make my comeback into music and feeling like that was happening via my own project. 2019 was like when I started conceptualizing it, and I applied to be part of Wichawea Ahia Indigenous Singer-Songwriters residency in Banff, and I got fully funded to go, which was like such a huge gift. And I think that was one of the first places where I was just surrounded by Indigenous people and like feeling really nourished by each other's presence, and also feeling so supported to start writing my own music. And I wrote my first 3 songs for my project there. I mean, I had written some songs in jazz school, but like this was for my own like heart songs and stories. And yeah, that's what was happening. I was starting my own project and doing a lot of healing work for my body and my soul. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I think it's important to rest, important to heal, and you show that well. I think you show that in that story, but also even now, as I'm thinking like that was the precursor, but now you're, you know, applying for CBC Searchlight again and producing more music and working on other projects. You know, those things are. I love hearing all these stories because I'm like, wow, look at where you all have been, where you are, where you're gonna go. Just an exciting moment, you know. Just want to acknowledge that. I'm gonna go to question 3 because you know time is at 65 BPM right now. I don't know. There's a switch up. There's a switch up there, but we're gonna go to round 3, and guess what? It's rapid fire. So that thing. So I'm gonna ask you some rapid fire questions. It's gonna go quickly, and let me know what comes to mind. So I'm gonna start with Mikey. What's one thing you do every morning?
We're all like,
Hey, what's one thing I do every morning?
Yeah.
Take a shower.
Francis.
oh,
Meditate.
Mm,
brush my teeth.
yes. Okay. What's one thing you do? What's one thing you would do if you weren't an artist, Kealoha?
Oh no. The
okay,
first
take
thing
your
that came to
time.
mind was figure skating.
Figure skating. Wow. Francis.
If I wasn't an artist, I'd cook.
Yeah.
Great chef. Mikey. What?
I mean, I don't think I could never, I tried not being an artist and then I went back to, and then it just came back. So I think, I'd probably be a researcher or I'd start my own media company.
That's true. I should rephrase that question. You are already, you know?
Mhm.
Next one thing.
Oh.
What's one thing that always, oh, sorry, Kealoha, my bad.
Oh my gosh, no. I was just gonna say, I have no skills in figure skating. I don't know why. That came out like that is a dream. That is a dream.
I love it. I love it. I
Anyway,
love
yeah.
that it ignited. It ignited, oh yeah, figure skating. I love it. One last one thing. What's one thing that always, actually, I'm curious. What's one thing you do before or after a performance?
Oh,
And let's start with Francis.
Before or after a performance? I jump a lot. I just do like not jumping. I just like jump as high as I can basically and like try to get my heart rate up because usually when I perform it's like very like there's a lot of adrenaline needed and like I need to warm up a little bit. So jumping. Yeah.
Hello, what do you do?
I do vocal warm-ups or warm-ups in general for my instruments, and then I try to set aside time to just ground in where I am with the band as well. And then afterwards, there's usually a check-in of some sort and usually food.
Mikey.
before a show, I usually pray. I start with a prayer to get some centered, quiet time, and I'm always just grateful just to be there wherever I am. So making sure that I'm thanking, because I'm a Catholic, so I'm making sure that I'm grounded and being grateful for where I am. And then if there's tequila, then I'll take a tequila shot as well before the show. And then after, I immediately look for my family. My family's there's always a family member at the show. So I like immediately drop all my stuff, find them.
So now y'all know what people do before or after a show. And maybe on June 8th, you can remind each other a little bit of like, hey, did you do your prep before the little jumping, the little prayer? Do we have
a tequila at the show on?
Talk to your curator. I don't know.
We'll talk off camera.
I love it. Well, I hope you have a wonderful show on June 8th, but I have 2 more questions for y'all. We're gonna go to round. This is when your computer shuts down and closes your Google Doc, but I found it. Thank you. All right. Oh, new round. This round is called I Am Made of Stars, stars, stars. I am made of stars, stars, stars. If you want to hear a version of that, you should listen to Kimortal, featuring JB, the First Lady, and maybe myself. And this song, I chose this song for this round because I wanted to honor the people that inspired you, the people that you're listening to right now, the people that people should check out. Maybe there's other people that you wanted to add to this show, to this lineup, Francis, and you couldn't, but you're like, people need to go check them out. Or maybe you just want to tell me about how much you love Alan Stone and what that means to you, Mikey. Or Kealoha. Maybe there's a certain person that you're working with right now that you're like, It's on my playlist all the time. I wake up, I dream about it, I listen to it every day, and this is the artist to listen to. So it could be an artist, could be a creative, could be a speaker, could be an elder. That's what Made of Stars is. So who are the people you want to shout out, if I was to paraphrase what I just said? And I'll start off with Kealoha.
The first person that came to mind is my best friend, Taylor Jade, who just had her debut show at In Bloom, which was the show that I curated with Vines Festival, and has been a huge pillar in supporting and being alongside me in my project over the past year. And she is also like an incredible multi-instrumentalist, a vocalist, a healer. She's a music therapist. She's just an amazing being, and I see like so much goodness coming her way, and like so many opportunities for her to like be shining. And yeah, always just feel so humbled and honored to be alongside her in this journey. And then yeah, I think I'm just gonna ground in I mean, there's always my family, always. My mom and my 2 siblings, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Pass the mic.
Love those shout outs. Mikey, who do you want to shout out?
Well, definitely. I feel like a shout out to my family has to be in there somewhere. So I'm going to start with my parents and my sister. They're like my creative powerhouse. Like whenever I get depleted and feel like, you know, burnt out or something like that, they are the people I go to get invigorated again. So huge shout out to them. They were like the biggest inspirations in my life. In terms of artists, basically one of the first times I'd put a band together was last year for a couple of projects. And it was such a magical moment and feeling that the band created a band. It's basically, they are now their own rhythm section, like the premier rhythm section of Vancouver. They're called Bungalow, and they're amazing. Like they basically were like, we don't really need you. We could kind of just do our own thing. So no, they're super nice. And like we're working on a lot of stuff together, but biggest shout out to the newest and hottest funk band in Vancouver, Bungalow. You should check them out. I think they have an Instagram now, but they're amazing. So huge ups to them. And I'm also just always listening to this amazing artist / Broadway star. Her name is Cynthia Revo. I was listening to her music last night. I don't know if you've heard her sing I'm Here from The Color Purple, but if you want to cry today, then just look it up and just feel emotional. That's just like the last thing that I listen to, and it always invigorates me creatively to hear her sing and just put everything into that performance. So yeah, if you want to cry today, look up I'm Here by Cynthia Revo. Guaranteed cry.
Facts. Yeah. I can say the same. Francis, who do you want to shout out?
Yeah, I think similarly. I think my family is sort of first and always, and they have provided so much energy and support and inspiration as I've moved through this roller coaster of having multiple careers in music. And so between my family and my partner Daisy, who in herself is an incredible like artist and community organizer and collaborator as well, I think those need to be named first. You said if there's anyone maybe who I couldn't add to the lineup, or that I wanted to add to the lineup, I don't think I can overstate this, is like there's literally countless people in our community that I would have loved to provide stages and opportunities and resources for, and so I think for now I won't name specific people, but that's a very real truth, and I know we all know so many people that deserve looks like this, but that's all my pre-answer. My core answer is like I don't think I've expressed to Mikey and Kealoha as to like why I wanted you on this series. And I think like when I was thinking of like folks who I've been in collaboration and connection and conversation with, who I feel the relationship is reciprocal and like really grounded in like energetic exchange and musical exchange. And you were the first two names that came to mind. And I know that there's common ground in terms of like, you're both so incredibly talented, and your crafts and your expressions and your different art forms and just work outside of music are deeply inspiring. I think also you both have incredible bands that are made up of your incredible friends. And I love that it's not just like a bunch of session musicians for you. Like this is my circle of people that I'm trying to build with. And like, I mean, like Kealoha, you open with like wanting to also provide opportunities and shine and light for other people and your friends that are supporting you so that you can support them back. Mikey, you just talked about how your band literally just created a band, you know, and that's rooted in like, a lot of that is rooted in both of your fundamental and like centered work and like bringing people together as organizers, as collaborators, as friends. And all of those things combined on top of how you both understand the healing properties of music. I think it just made sense for all of us to be in the same room and on the same bill. And like, I want you to know that it's not just, yeah, there's intention behind why you're here. And I really hope you feel that sense of being held by that.
Love you, man.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Totally.
Feelings are totally mutual.
This is why I was excited about this chat today, because y'all are just wonderful humans. I know we're almost out of time. I have 2 more rounds, just one last round, or I'll edit this part a little bit. So I can ask you both questions, or if you have to go somewhere, I can ask you the last question and we wrap it up. Do you have 5?
I've got a bit of time. I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, let's do round 6. It's the newest round. Flip it and reverse it. It's your yeah. It's your yeah. So flip it and reverse it. Of course, Missy D loves Missy Elliott, and I want to honor her. That's my shout out. So flip it and reverse it. I asked you a lot of questions, but you probably have questions for each other. And as Francis beautifully mentioned there's a reason why this lineup is happening on June 8th. So I'm gonna give the floor to you, and you can ask someone on this call the question. That's what flip it and reverse it is. So whoever wants to start off, the floor is yours.
Wow, Missy, your job is really hard. I can't think of any question. Good question.
I've had time to think about my questions, so don't worry. You take the time.
You gave us time too. You gave us the questions a long time. I have one.
Yes.
I will just offer it to whoever feels pulled to answer it. I guess there's 2, so you could choose. One is, what is your biggest fear as you're going into offering your gifts into the world, into your community? And then the other one is, what keeps you going, or what moves you past that fear, I guess.
I can do a quick one. I think my biggest fear would be, I was speaking, we had this conversation like a week ago, Francis. I think my biggest fear about like entering into this space, not necessarily just my like pursuing art, but also pursuing academia, is like, I feel like I'm splitting resources in 2 things that I really want to do and pursue. And that says it's very easy for me to get sidetracked with like what the most picturesque version of each of those of those things are, these pathways. Like I see friends opening up for these amazing artists and touring and getting Juno nominations and Grammy nominations and all these amazing things on the music side. And then on the academic side, I see people publishing papers, getting published in and going to conferences and presenting these researches, getting scholarships and awards. And I feel like because I'm on my track and I'm trying to, I'm so passionate about both, I feel like, oh, I could totally do that. I could totally do that. But then I'm kind of caught in the middle where I'm like I feel like I'm not doing enough of either of them. And so it's just kind of this feeling of like not being enough, not doing enough. And it gets into like this very harmful spiral of things. I think that's like my biggest fear. But the thing that Francis and I were talking about again is like to kind of overcome that mentality and overcome, you know, splitting my brain and getting distracted by these really shiny objects on each of the corners is to really hone down and remember my why, remember the reason why I'm splitting my time between these things, because ultimately I think music is a tool towards facilitating healing. And I think that validating that in this space, in this combined space of creating music, but also validating music is where I'm supposed to be. And I live in this weird space where like all of you can really attest to is I feel like we're all in spaces that are very unfamiliar. We're trying to be interdisciplinary, and in kind of doing that, it's a scary place to be because there isn't really a pathway or a map or a roadmap that is telling you where you're going. But I think what really reminds me of, you know, the destination really is, my mom always says, like, it's she does like an Indiana Jones reference where you're just like sprinkling a little bit of dust in front of you and you don't see the pathway, but it kind of shows you the next step, and that's all you need to know. So I think that that's kind of what's honing me back, and is just like remembering my why, remembering the fact that I just really think that music is a tool towards things that are just beyond us, the things that are beyond our capacity to fathom, and kind of just remembering that it's really about, again, going back to community and going back to representation and telling stories and like really representing the human experience. So that's what I remind myself when I'm split and get distracted by things that I think are the definition of what success is. Whereas, you know, our own pathways, we have different metrics that we can't list out. And it's like, it's not something that's mapped out for us.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thanks. I said short answer, and then I was like, I'm gonna give you an essay.
Here for all that. Yeah, I think mine is related in the sense of like being split in multiple parts, different parts of my life. I think in being someone that wears a few sort of different hats, even just in and around music. I think a fear of mine whenever I'm offering gift or a service or an energy somewhere, there's always the fear of, I mean, for lack of a better term right now, just like burnout, right? Like, I think it's always just kind of in the back. There have been times in the past where I have burnt myself out, rather than like the circumstances. I think possibility really excites me, and making dreams happen really, really excites me. And that's when I feel most aligned and alive and purposeful, is when I am helping others' dreams come true or making my own dreams come true. And to some people, that is perceived as like, some people have like called me a workaholic, and some people have like been like, people are always checking in like, yo, you seem like you're on all the time. And to some extent, yes, but like, I think because I can see what's possible for myself and the community around me, it's really hard not to turn it off. And so I think something I'm always aware of is like, whether it's fear or whether it's just caution, is like making sure I'm not ever overextending myself. I think some of you know, but like I live with mental illness, and with bipolar disorder, stressors and triggers can really, really like sort of change how my day looks and change how my energy looks moment to moment. And so there's always that fear of like, okay, I really want to offer this thing and I want to help someone in this way, and I think I can, but just making sure that like my groundedness and like my wellness and like my health is always centered, grounded, and like taken care of. And so, yeah, I guess what overcomes that is like the years of like self grounding and coping, of course, and just learning what my body and mind and heart need at all times, and trying to stay in tune with that. But of course, there's like family and friends and loved ones that help these dreams happen, right? No one makes their dreams happen on their own. And so, yeah, I think when my complexity is held by myself and the people around me, I feel like I can also hold other people's complexity and dreams and needs too. And yeah, it's just not possible to get through everything without the people that hold us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't hear you.
Thanks. I was just saying this could be Kealoha interviews because that was a great question.
Great question.
Maybe this should be part of our what we work on. Anyway. This summer.
There you go.
See you Friday.
Yes.
I love it. Is there another question that comes to mind? Just wanted to hold space for any other questions, and then I'll have one last round for y'all.
I've got one. And is there a dream or a hope that you have for yourself that we can help you with, that the people on this call can help you with?
I don't know why I'm laughing like this. I think it's just because I like been practicing, like, so I just did a call, I submitted to the ARC acceleration program, and in the thing, I like, the trajectory of it was like, it was like 1 a.m. and I was like, I had like no filter. I was like taping myself being like, why do I want to be part of this program? And then like, I was like, Kate, I need to do this again in the morning. Cause I was watching, I was like, whoa. And then, but as like it kept going on, I was like, I kept saying the dream over and over in each recording, and each time it felt better and better. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I want to get signed to Anderson .Paak's Ape Shit record label. I am capable. And then I was like, I want to open for Leanne the Havas or someone along those lines. And then like, so, you know, I'm just going to drop that there. Like, I think like I could give a more grounded answer. Like there's definitely, you're already helping with my dreams, Francis. And you all are like, you know, even D holding this space, like I've always had this dream of being able to speak more clearly and concisely and like really say what I want to say. And like you holding this space for us, like I've already felt more empowered. And like, I think Mikey, I'm like, I dream of being able to like sing and harmonize even better and better more with people. So I'd love to sing with you and like play music with you. Yeah, I can do that.
I reflect, it's cop out, but I really truly feel the same about the last bit. Like I feel like, you know, especially you, Francis, because I work with you the most, but I mean, just even having these conversations and giving us a platform like this, Missy, I think that you guys are doing everything that I could ever ask for people, for artists, local artists in the local community, for my goals and my dreams. I don't really have, like, my main goal with my music really is to just share experiences, which I think is like a goal of all musicians and all, like that's why art is created. So it's not, I feel like tangible, concrete goals of like stepping stones and things to do, I don't necessarily think I have them in my mind. I just think like whatever capacity or whatever avenue gets me to share these moments with people, whether it be on you know, a Gilton Co stage in Vancouver or a festival somewhere else, you know what I mean? Or like through the music that we release. I just think it's whatever gets us to that feeling of community and togetherness is like what I seek. And all of you do that so beautifully. So that's my answer. I think that you are all doing exactly what I would expect and would want for a community of musicians to do.
Mm.
I'll flip it and reverse it. Reverse it. Francis, what is your answer to your own question? And Kealoha, what's your answer to your own question?
Mm. Hmm. Hmm.
One of my biggest fears is maybe that some of the dreams are too much, or like maybe I'll get too attached to specifically how I've envisioned it, and that there will be that grief for like that version of it, but the universe will always present a different version of it. I do believe that. And I think why that's a big fear is maybe because of the dream that I have of being able to contribute so much abundance into my family pod, so that there is this release of like the struggle that has just been kind of ongoing, and like I just like the dream of us all having what we, and specifically, yeah, I guess like my mom and my two siblings, like just being able to, I think for me, like my music and just my work, since music is my main like work and my dream and my passion, my career, like it sometimes does feel scary being like, I'm putting so much into this and I do really believe that it's all possible, but it also is like this big thing where I'm like, it would, just knowing how life-changing it could be if for not only myself, I think, and then just wanting to fulfill that as much as I can. And then I think I work through that by seeing all of the moments of victory that I have along the way, and like noticing and reminding myself that everything is working out, and like just even seeing milestones between today and last year today, like that really helps me. It's just like remembering and like reminding myself of how far I've come, how far we've come.
Yeah.
Wow. I think for me, my answer to my question, yeah, are there any? Yeah, I don't think it's. I hope it's not a cop out, but or like an easy answer. But like, I think my hope and dream is to contribute to like cultivating a community of independent artists who look out for each other in like very deep deep and like deep, grounded, and like abundant ways. I think it's really easy, especially in say in Vancouver, for example, like to act from a place of scarcity in terms of like sharing resources and opportunities and connections. Like, you know, the industry or whatever is so small, and you know, when someone gets an opportunity and the same people keep getting the same opportunities, it's easy to and so valid for people to want to protect it and maybe hoard some of it sometimes when it feels like there's scarcity of support and resources. But I think like maybe if there's anything that I could ask for is like that people tune into the offerings that they do have and the abundance that they do carry to offer other people around us. Because like, especially like as BIPOC artists, like, you know, the industry is so overwhelmingly white sometimes, and and we kind of have to look for ourselves, and yeah, I really hope that people continue to look out for each other in deep ways, and I think this is one of the ways that happens.
Well, already affirming how I definitely feel like even just being closer with you, Francis, and seeing our circles connect in more possibilities and ways, feeling everything that you're talking about and wanting to nourish.
Thank you.
I feel very, very, very hopeful and very good and very excited about the show, about your music, about your work, about the multi-hyphenated things that you're working on. We're almost out of time, and unfortunately, my lunch break is coming to an end, and I will have to go back to being an experiential learning advisor. But I got to hang out with some amazing people. So I have one last question, and I'm gonna change it up. Usually I ask people to, what would you tell your younger self? And you can talk to your younger self if you want to. But I'm gonna challenge you on this one too. What would you tell yourself right now? And the people on this call, the people that might be watching this later, a message to them. And I'll have the Zoom on your beautiful faces. So I'm gonna let you think about it, and I will call a name. I'll set myself up here. And Mike, I haven't forgotten. If you have a question, please do bring it up. It's never ending. We always are ready for more questions.
My question is silly, so we can delay that for another time. I was just gonna ask if you guys think Cheeto is a chip. That was my question, but we're going.
No. Before.
So,
I like this little pause.
In our what we would tell youngsters, but just let that ponder in the back of your mind. Is a Cheeto a chip? Okay.
That is a good question, though.
Yeah.
I dig it. You see, while people are waiting for their answers, it is a chip, no?
I don't think it is. It's the shape. It's not a chip.
I've gone into brawls with people on this, so I just wanted to stir a little pot of controversy before we end today. But then also, I have an answer for the other one. I'm sorry for.
Oh no! I love this. I love this so much.
On all your faces. You heard the question.
I'm like,
it's like a cousin of a chip.
Are Cheetos chips? Yeah, it's a different type of a chip. Okay, so people have called it puffs. Other people are like in the chip section, but does that necessarily constitute it as a chip? Is it a sub type of chip? We could spend another hour talking about this. But I just wanted, if you weren't aware of this debate, now you are.
I'm gonna prepare my argument notes for this time. I started thinking about rice crackers, and I was like, but like, is that a chip? But then I was like, what section do they fall into? Then I was like, Cheetos. But I'll come through. I'm gonna take some notes because I love interviewing y'all. So this is not the last interview we're gonna do. So, and we're gonna hang out besides this Zoom call.
It might be the hardest question.
I know, right? Like that actually is like one of those.
Yeah.
I have to consult some people. I have to phone a friend.
Might have to sample some Cheetos, actually.
Cheetos type beat.
I love it. You see, there's a lot of great question. You see, I'm glad. I just remembered. I was like, oh, Mikey, I have a question from you. Well, this debate will continue. I feel like it's not going to be the end.
I can answer the real question. It's just
wait, what was the real? Wait, can you remind us the real question?
The real question is it a chip or not? That's not. The other question that I do have to end our time together here is, what would you tell yourself right now? Or a message to the people on this call? Whoever is ready, I will let you go. Yeah, sorry.
While the rest of you, I guess, think about it, because I totally threw you off, which was my intent. I think what I would tell myself if I was younger, and also myself now, because I feel like some things don't change, is really that you are doing just fine. You're doing fine. You are and that you're doing a lot more than you think you are. I think I think all of us here are very supportive of our friends and the people that we see, and we're so quick to praise, and we're so quick to be like, wow, this person's doing this person's doing that. But we, touching on what Kealoha had mentioned this earlier today, is like the person we were 2 months ago, 3 months ago, yesterday, a year ago, is not the same person that you are. Like the core of who we are, I believe, is the same, but the things that we've done, that our growth and the things that we've gone through to make us who we are today, I think has I don't think we realize it because it's such a, we're living it every day. So I think the thing that I would say is you're doing just fine. You're who you're meant to be today. And I think like that's the most beautiful thing that we can ask of ourselves. So that's what I would say. And that Cheeto is a chip.
Oh,
I was actually curious. I was gonna say flip it or reverse. I was like, what is it?
yeah.
I end my answer.
Okay,
So
okay.
funny.
Okay. Well, who's next? Who would like to tell me their message to themselves?
I think I would say that, I think I would tell myself that I don't need to look for an answer or a validation from somebody else about where I'm at or who I am becoming or the parts of me that I'm trying to embrace. And I think to me that really ties into my intersectionality and trying to find how to best offer my gifts to contribute to in the ways that I want to. And yeah, I think just reminding myself that I do hold so much wisdom, not just inside my own being, but that all of my relations are with me and helping me to those answers. So if I just keep those gates open and like trust in those instincts, those are grounded in not just me, those are grounded in those other voices and roots. So that's my validation right there, I would say.
I think what I would tell myself now, myself in the future, and that and myself in the past is that it's not perfect, but like the phrase that's coming to mind is like the body knows. Like the body knows what's best for itself. And sometimes at the same time, there are circumstances and experiences that create blockages and like and create blockages and like challenges to like access that like deep wisdom and like those deep insights. But I think as we move through the world and like as we have different connections with people, different opportunities coming our way, sometimes it's hard to like assess like, should I take this or should I not, or should I like say yes or should I say no, or all these sorts of things. And I think what I would remind myself, especially after having like my nervous system like almost on fire for like 2 weeks, is like the body knows what it needs, and in this moment right now it just needs like rest and to listen to itself. And it's really easy for me to like over consult, like to over gather information and opinions and resources and stuff to make better decisions. But sort of 9 times out of 10, like I kind of know what answer it is I'm looking for, and it's related to that validation piece, I think. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all these answers, y'all. I hope that you play back this section of the interview for yourself, maybe before the show, maybe after the show, maybe whenever you need it, and listen to yourself. I feel like sometimes your words echo right back to you, and probably echo to someone that needs to hear it that day, even myself included. So I appreciate all of you for your time, for your words, for your laughs, for your fun facts, for your hard work, for knowing that Cheetos are chips, question mark, question mark, question mark, and many more to come. But I'm super excited to come to your show at Guilt & Co. On Wednesday, June 8th at 7 p.m. First come, first serve, come through. And you will get to notice the stellar constellation number 4 that is in front of me. And that is Mikey Jose, that is Francis Arevalo, that is Kealoha. And I'm so grateful to call you community, to call you friends who I've yet to meet, but Mikey, you're a friend in my life. Francis, we go way back, and Kealoha, we are the future. So I can't wait to hang out with all of you. And to end Missy D interviews, I usually try to find a song, and I'm a fan of all of you. So I was like, I'm having a hard time. I really don't know which song I was gonna go. I was jamming to Mama's Hands. I was like, then people are gonna be like, it's because you like Yes Mama, Mama's Hands. I was like, no, it's not that. I just love Mama's Hands. And I was like, Francis Arevalo was like, there's a catalog that I know by heart. I've walked this Musqueam land flexing on them, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play flex. And I was like, they're not ready for all of this. Mikey, I'm often at home. Probably my landlord hears me trying to harmonize to wait. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this well, but they get to hear it over time. So because of so many reasons, I was like, I need to find a song where they collaborate. I was like, technically Wait is a collaboration. But I was like, is there a collaboration that Francis and Kealoha have? And then I came across this video from Sandstone where Kealoha is on the drums, Francis is on the mic. And I thought it would represent how the body listens, the body hears. And I know you all came with different feelings, and I hope that you know that you are all good. So let's end with that jam and honor the wonderful, the amazing Wonder Cut as well on it. So here it goes. Here's a little outro. This is your dance moment. And hopefully it plays if my computer says yes. What's happening? It doesn't want to play. Will I edit this section? I don't know. Give me 1 second.
Can we just pretend to dance now?
I'm gonna wait. Oh, here we go. My apologies, everybody. Don't worry, I'll play it for only 30 seconds here because I will be heading. Where did it go? Something is happening to my computer. Okay, we're gonna do this. Otherwise, I was gonna put y'all on the spot. Be like, hey y'all, let's start drumming. But I'll open up a new tab and hopefully it plays. And then I will edit this section in. All right, everybody. Let's get into
It's all good.
Kealoha on the drums.
It's all good.
Francis on the mic.
It's all good.
Mikey with a dance move.
Hey.
Like he on the air keys.
Kealoha.
Thank you so much,
Undercut.
everybody.
It's your boy Francis.
Hopefully you have a
Yo, this is
Filled.
and the stress is everything I've been defeated by. From my beater heart and the parts of us that we redefine. No longer sleep deprived. I just
Come
wanna
on.
see me rise
Come
and
on.
feel alive. Now I got more
Yeah.
drive
So
to see the
I'm gonna end with that
sky.
energy.
Sigh of relief. I
We'll
see the
debate
signs
later
of
if
relief. I'm feeling
Ketos or
fine
chips.
because I'm finally
Stay tuned.
realigning with me. Divine
This was
timing
Missy D
dreams. I'm
Interviews.
finally finding the
Mikey
reach.
Jose.
We could listen to
Francis
ourselves.
Arevalo.
It's time that we speak.
Hello.
When we finally see ourselves,
And I will
think
see
we
you
found what we seek.
very,
They're called reflections for a reason, so we mind what we mean.